Welcome back. You're still watching NTV Weekend Edition. Tonight, in Talk of the Nation, we speak about the Uganda Securities Exchange. In this conversation, you mostly hear us use USE. It was founded in June 1997 and opened in January 1998. And it is the principal stock exchange of Uganda, and it operates under the jurisdiction of Capital Markets Authority. Now, during the current COVID-19 pandemic, most sectors of the economy have been affected in different ways, and we believe the capital markets have not been an exception. What we have seen is that in the news lately, it has been making news in its role of helping investors make a profit from their investments. So tonight, we pick the thoughts of Mr. Martin Owiny, who is the resource person at Capital Markets Authority, basically to understand what is happening in this sector. A very good evening and welcome to Talk of the Nation.
Thank you very much, Sandra. I'm happy to be here. Capital Markets Authority sits under the Ministry of Finance, and as you've said, Capital Markets Authority is the regulator of the buying and selling of shares at the Uganda Securities Exchange. In terms of the outlook on the market, there's the buying and selling of shares. When I buy a share, what am I doing? I'm buying a unit of ownership in a company, or other people would say a unit of capital. So in essence, I'm giving money to the company that I'm buying, but it's not for no reason. There's a reason why I do that. So I purchase a share in order to participate in the profit of the company. In other words, if the company makes money, I will be able to get a portion of that profit. Number two, I've bought a share at hopefully a low price in order to sell it at a
higher price.
Exactly. So there are two reasons why I buy a share. In terms of the outlook on the Uganda Securities Exchange, evidently the aim is to increase the number of shares being traded on the Uganda Securities Exchange. In the last 9 to 6 months, most exciting share, Stanbic Bank. That's the share that has been most traded on the Securities Exchange. And in terms of the outlook, the Capital Markets Authority is looking forward to a number of the telecoms that have been mandated now to float their shares coming onto the market in order to us to see increased activity as far as buying and selling of shares is concerned. However, the Capital Markets Authority has a product that is currently being advertised, rolled out, and it's known as a collective investment scheme, unit trust, and that's been the main focus of the Capital Markets Authority at the moment. And that particular product, known as the collective investment scheme unit trust, is currently bordering 7 billion in terms of participation from about 8,000 to 10,000 accounts. And the hope is that in the new financial year, it will be able to transition across the 1 trillion mark as it rolls out to more and more Ugandans who are interested in savings.
Now, before we dive into how it is currently performing, we're just curious to find out how the USE was performing before the pandemic. Was it growing or was it struggling?
Evidently, the USE has had a number of challenges, essentially because in terms of the participation in the USE, the key players are the retirement benefit schemes. Now, not only the NSSF, but you have other retirement benefit schemes participating inside the USE. So before the pandemic, essentially when you look at the USE, you would find that the number of options that were available for purchase of shares was limited. It continues to be limited. But as I said, the most exciting share or the most traded share on the USE was actually Stanbic Bank, for obvious reasons, in terms of the most profitable bank in Uganda, the biggest bank in Uganda, a bank with foresight and a strong vision.
Well, we've also had, so many companies have been listed on this. With the challenges that have been posed by COVID-19, do you think more companies are likely to take part in this? And even before you start talking to us about that, how has the impact of COVID-19 affected USEs?
Evidently,
are there some sectors that have benefited greatly from it?
I won't say so. I think the USC essentially has been challenged by COVID-19 in terms of one, participation from new companies coming in. That has been limited. However, the capital markets authorities excited about the possibility of some of the telecoms coming on, such as MTN, and then also the reality being that if you are having challenges as far as share prices are concerned, some people look at that as an opportunity and others look at it as a limitation. Yeah, so those who have said, yes, the share price has gone down of a number of companies, and look at it as an opportunity, then say, I've got to put in my money. Because when the share price is down, over a period of time, it's likely to go up if it's a strong company.
Yes.
And if the share price is up, such as with BAT, which has stayed at 30,000 Uganda shillings, most people would say that I think that's on the higher side. I'll let that be. And it's not a share that I'll participate in until the price has come down. So what I would like to say is that the reality being that when share prices drop, that presents an opportunity. And a number of people see that as an opportunity and actually come in and purchase that particular share.
Now, let us speak for a viewer that is watching us this evening, the uncertainties that are involved in this kind of exchange.
Yes.
The fact that sometimes people believe they will lose their money in the process. I mean, are there some regulations that you put in place to cater for such eventualities?
What the Capital Markets Authority does is it licenses experts. So, for example, people who participate in the stock exchange, the key players would be the stockbrokers. Yes. If I want to buy a share, I can't go straight to the stock exchange and say I've come to buy a share. I've got to go through a stockbroker. Now, in licensing these stockbrokers, they are expected to give you, or to give the average Ugandan who's interested, an outlook, a view, a house view, so to say, and say that if you wish to purchase the shares on the stock exchange, these are the shares that we think you should participate in, and these are the shares we think could be challenged. So the reality is that if you're having a COVID situation, then a number of these companies are going to be challenged to make a profit. And if they're going to be challenged to make a profit, then they're also going to be challenged to see their share prices increase in value. Yeah, so what you then see within a COVID situation like we're going through is that a number of these companies will not be having their prices going up. And because they'll not be having their prices going up, you'd find that given that the share prices are low, that then presents either an opportunity or a limitation. So the opportunity being that if I think a company's share price has dropped, that could be an opportunity to say, I've been waiting for that to happen. I know this is a strong company. The environment may be such that it's a challenging environment, but given the strength of this company, maybe like Stanbic Bank, I'll buy that share because the share price has gone down within the COVID situation. Then what's my hope after COVID? That strong company will begin to make profit and the share price will go up.
All right, maybe finally and briefly, for a viewer that is watching us tonight, we know that some reports have indicated that Ugandans have poor saving culture. Would you advise, for instance, myself or anyone that is watching to put their money in the USE?
In terms of the USE, there is the aspect of shares having volatility. Yeah. Now, when I say volatility, what I'm actually saying is that share prices go up, and they go down. So when I look at the USE, the reality is stock exchanges world over.
At the moment.
And if I'm thinking of investing in a stock exchange, or if I'm thinking of buying a share, one important thing that I've got to look at, my minimum outlook, because share prices go up and down, my minimum outlook when I put in the money is a 5-year outlook. So I should be saying that I can leave the money there. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is that money that's invested in shares is not money for today or tomorrow.
Yes.
It's not money for water bills. It's not money for medical bills. It's money I'm ready to put away for at least 5 years. So if a Ugandan wishes to invest in shares, that's the outlook I would like to give them. Have an outlook of 5 years, not money that I need tomorrow or today. If I'm to save, then Capital Markets Authority has alternative products, such as a unit trust, that Ugandans can participate in.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Martin Owiny, for joining us tonight. And thank you as well. I believe you've gotten the information that you needed in regards to the Uganda Securities Exchange. Thank you, and TV Weekend Edition will definitely continue shortly.